Welcome to After School Reviews. Please subscribe, turn on that bell icon, please like this video, and leave a comment down in the comment section. Today on After School Reviews, we are going to be having a look at the NECA Aliens Lieutenant Ellen Ripley. NECA Aliens Lieutenant Ellen Ripley figure. Now this figure is kind of older. You kind of have to, I think, pay a little bit higher than what you want on eBay and such stores like that. It's sold out. And I do believe they've kind of released this figure twice. Once later in a 2-pack with Newt. Just a way to somehow sell Newt to the people without being able to just have the San Diego Comic-Con release. But you can see Ripley in there. It says Lieutenant Ellen Ripley. There, the side of the box, I actually dig the side of the box here. Looks pretty cool. It has a picture of her there. Heading in to go find Newt. The back of this packaging, I can't really tell what's back there. This is the first Aliens figure I've ever had in a box. That's not the Ultimate style box. So it's kind of, it's not really an alien, but it's still an alien figure. You can see that there. The back of the box has her with the Queen Alien. Which, for me, I'm not going to be able to afford the Queen Alien, nor am I going to be able to afford the Power Loader. So for me, I'm just going to have her kind of shooting at the warrior aliens. Here you have this little thing there. You can see, what's his name down there? Oh, come on, what's his name? Oh, I can think of it. You can see these other ones. Here's a genocide figure. Those are kind of cool. I like the red color. Also available. I guess that's the same figure, but stick on the back, sure. And you can see she only has one accessory, which is the gun. But other than that, you can see she's tied up in there. And we'll have a closer look at her opened and out of her packaging. Lieutenant Ellen Ripley only comes with one accessory. And it is her, what is it? The laser rifle thingy. And yet another flamethrower. So it's kind of like the same, part of the first movie. But you can see they're attached because in this part of the movie she's going to save Newt. And she kind of rigs the thing together. Here you can see, I think, the tape at the end. So there you can see the tape connecting the two guns. And if you go through the front, you can see this thing here is kind of looped in a weird way. It's not really connected to this, but I guess that's how it is in the film because it's looped around here. So you can see, here's the flamethrower. They're both very green, very military type looking, rather than the first movie one, which looked quite differently, but you can see that. It's not flexible at all. Not really, but you can see it's got a little bit of deep detail in there. It's got some paint, some weathering on it. It's got some dry brushing. You can see the strap here. The strap's very nice and thick. You can see that there. Handles are nice and black, everything like that. Very, very cool. So there's her only accessory. Now, I imagine that if this is an Ultimate figure in the future, she'll probably come with a little bit more, maybe like an egg or some other stuff. So here's the figure open and out of her packaging, and it's not too terrible of a figure, because I usually say like, like figures that are from, nostalgia or a cult classic, you're going to have more feel for the figure, and this is a much better figure in the sense of that versus the Terminator Dark Fate T-800. And the reason I say that is because that T-800 figure wasn't carried out the right way on NECA's part. And I think that's... At first I was like, no, NECA did a great job, but I think it is NECA's fault. They should have done definitely a little bit of battle damage on that figure. But that's just my thing on that. I wish I wouldn't have bought that figure. I should have just got Sarah. But I have both of them. But here's Ripley, so to get off that. This figure looks nice. It's got everything you want from this figure, because I rewatched Aliens for Alien Day, so I watched Aliens for the 4th, 5th time this time. And I was dreading it, watching Alien and Aliens. And so I sit down and I watch Alien, and I really enjoyed it yet again. The year before that, I did not enjoy the movie. But then I sat down and watched Aliens, and I enjoyed it more than I had ever before. And I figured, I've got to get a figure of Ellen/Ripley from the second movie. Just because I have the warrior aliens. I have 2 warrior aliens, so I can have her, shooting at the eggs. Of course, I don't have Newt, but I don't really need Newt. I guess it's the John Connor of the figures, of course. And I want a John Connor, but I wouldn't want a Newt. That's just, on my liking there. And you can see the head sculpt here. I think NECA did a great job capturing the likeness. Like right there, you can see that. It really looks reminiscent of the original Nostromo Ripley that they've released. I'll get that figure over here. You can see the eyebrows. Everything's painted nicely. This one's really not actually painted, just casted in this color. So it gives off this sweaty look, and she's very sweaty in this part of the movie, so it has a translucent look. So it really gives that figure a more lifelike vibe rather than if it was painted. Like both the hands are just casted, which is nicely. The hair is done very nicely too. Of course, she has a haircut in the second movie. You can see that there. Wish it had a little bit dry brushing on there, or wish it was a little bit darker, and then this lighter color was on top. But you get to do what you get to do. You can see the shirt of the figure is white, but it has these type of gray, sweaty, nasty marks on them, as if she's filthy, which would make sense for what's going on in the movie. She has this type of suspender type things here going on, like this vest. You can see that there, lying on the shirt. There, kind of reminds me of the Sarah Connor. And these two characters are kind of, women empowerment. I think Sarah Connor and Ripley are both very strong women. Sarah comes across a T-800 that wants to kill her. Ripley comes across a alien xenomorph that wants to kill her. So it's kind of the same thing. And it's kind of a cool thing too there. So you can see here she has the grenade launchers, or the grenades, that she has on her chest. The detonator thingies. You can see that there. Very cool. Back strap on here is glossy. That little clip there gives a little bit of variant to the figure. The pants are just blue with a little bit of dirt and grime here and there on them, like somewhere on the pockets. You actually see that detail there. Zippers are on the figure too as well. I usually do cuts, but I'm not doing any cuts on this figure, like for the camera, Her shoes are done very nicely. I like these shoes. I guess I didn't pay attention in the movie, but they remind me of Marty McFly's from Back to the Future Part 2, which would make sense, because this is the future, They got shoes gotta look like that by now, right? So the shoes have this nice dirty look to them, of course. Everything she's gone through in the movie. They're not going to be perfect. So they have a little bit of yellow on there. Bottom's nice and white, but that is basically the figure. She has these weird painted fingernails, which I don't really like on the figure, but that's fine. And her wristwatch is actually a separate piece, so it moves. Which on the other figure, actually I want to get at this. You see that shading there? Kind of done like the Dutch figure from Predator. She has this type of shading, I think, throughout. Maybe the face has it a little bit too. Yeah, you can kind of see that, I think. Look at that. See the kind of a red there, and the rest of it's kind of a regular shade. So that's pretty cool. Here she is holding her weapon. You can kind of stick it in the air if you kind of want her to, but it doesn't really look right because that gun will be heavy. So she's going to have to hold it with both hands since it's, a flamethrower and a gun. She's kind of struggling holding both of them previously. So we kind of get that there. Kind of see that there. So that looks pretty cool. And I have these little special effect thingies here I've made out of some hot glue, and I've had these for a while. So I'm going to show you what these look like. Just like that, you can have this little special effect, and it looks very cool, especially if you have some of the green ones and you stick it on one of the, the Xenomorph figures, or if you have one that has like the Xenomorph figures that are all blasted. And I think actually NECA made a little accessory set, and I think you could actually stick it on top of these. But if you don't have that, you can just make these yourself, and it looks pretty cool. Here's Ripley from the first movie. Now, if you compare these side by side, you can see how they're crafted practically in the same way in a few of this. And, if you just look at them in a little bit. Both have flamethrowers. That's pretty much the same. The joints are about the same. I don't know if her hands are the same. But you can see these are casted rather than painted. Her hand is painted, but that's just because she has the watch. The shoes also weathered on this one too as well. Her pant area, like the NECA diaper, which is really not really on this figure quite as much as the Ultimate figures are, but still there, I guess, in a sense. It's just they're both kind of the same type of design, but they're not the exact same sculpt, so it's a little bit different. But Other than that, you can kind of see the similarities in these figures. The head sculpt is definitely different, but I don't know if that's just because this one's painted, or, well, this one looks painted. It's got to be painted, this one over here. This one's definitely not, but I don't know. But that is a comparison between these two that you can see. And there's this Ripley figure next to the Ultimate Warrior aliens, this one being the brown one and this one being the blue one. And I feel like I just said that in a review, and I think it's because I did. I think it's because I just reviewed the Big Chap figure. Go check out that review if you haven't seen that. That's an okay figure. It's actually better than what I thought it would be. I think it's going for like 30. I think I paid 25 for it, which is pretty nice. But I paid Ripley, I think 25 for Ripley too as well, which is not terrible either. But for an Ultimate, you know, much better for that one. But I'm planning on maybe using this figure for an Action the Figures reboot. I'm going to go ahead, and that's been a year since we've actually done the second video for that, so I'm thinking about bringing back Action the Figures. If you guys would like that, smash that like button, or say something in the comments. I'd rather say something in the comments, bring back Action the Figures, and I might take a couple days and do a new reboot of that. Rather I do the exact same storyline and I just continue it, and because that second episode is boring, and I shouldn't have already had a boring episode if I'm only on the second one. But the figures have masked, so we have much more figures than we did then. So I can add more characters, and I won't be using a green screen anymore. I'll just use a different setup for that. But thank you guys for watching After School Reviews. Please subscribe, turn on the bell icon, please like this video, and leave a comment down in the comment section. Today we were having a look at the NECA Lieutenant Ellen Ripley from Aliens. Check out the official After School Reviews Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.